Azerbaijan-United States relations. According to the 2012 U.S. Global Leadership Report, 53% of Azerbaijanis approve of U.S. leadership, with 27% disapproving and 21% uncertain. History. A first encounter of the United States-Azerbaijani interstate relations was the meeting between President of the United States Woodrow Wilson and the delegation of Azerbaijan Democratic Republic to the 1919 Paris Peace Conference. Azerbaijani delegates were unimpressed by the meeting in Paris, as instead of recognition, President Wilson advised them to develop a confederation with Transcaucasian neighbors on the basis of a mandate granted by the League of Nations. The Azerbaijani question, Wilson concluded, could not be solved prior to the general settlement of the Russian question. But recalling this meeting in his speech at the Commonwealth Club of California in San Francisco on September 18, 1919, Wilson outlined his positive impression of Azerbaijani delegation. Following the Red Army invasion in April 1920, Azerbaijan SSR was proclaimed, which in 1922 joined Soviet Union as a part of the Transcaucasian Federative Soviet Socialist Republic. No direct interstate relations existed between Azerbaijan SSR and the United States. Contemporary relations. On October 18, 1991, the Azerbaijani parliament adopted a declaration of independence. Subsequently, on December 25, 1991, Soviet Union ceased its existence and the United States formally recognized 12 former Soviet republics, including Azerbaijan, as independent states. On March 6, 1992, Azerbaijan opened its embassy in Washington, and on March 16, 1992, the United States opened its embassy in Baku, the capital of Azerbaijan. In 2005, as a freshman senator, Barack Obama visited Azerbaijan on a working trip together with Senate colleague Richard Lugar. Speaking at a conference on U.S.-Azerbaijani relations at Georgetown University in September 2009, the Undersecretary of State for Political Affairs, William J. Burns, outlined three main areas of interest for the United States in its bilateral relations with Azerbaijan: security cooperation, energy, and economic and democratic reform. U.S. Federal Grand Jury probe on Jan 21, 2022. ABC News reported that a federal grand jury in Washington had issued subpoenas to search the home and Texas office of Democratic Congressman Henry Cuellar, seeking records about a wide array of U.S. companies and advocacy organizations, many of them with ties to the former Soviet nation of Azerbaijan. According to ABC, a subpoena reviewed by the news organization asks for records relating to any work, act, favor, or service that Cuellar or his wife may have provided at the behest of certain foreign companies, government officials, American business leaders, or others. Cuellar has denied wrongdoing. Nagorno-Karabakh conflict. Modern U.S.-Azerbaijani relations have been strongly influenced by the U.S. official position on the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict between Armenia and Azerbaijan. The U.S. was actively involved in the attempts to resolve the conflict since 1992. As a part of the Conference on Security and Cooperation in Europe (CC), now OSCE mission, U.S. Secretary of State James Baker Romans re-proposed a set of rules named after him, which eventually defined the representation of the conflicting sides within the OSCE Minsk group negotiation format. In 1992, the U.S. Congress adopted Section 907 of the Freedom Support Act, which banned any direct U.S. aid to the government of Azerbaijan. The ban made Azerbaijan the only exception to the post-Soviet states receiving U.S. government aid for facilitating economic and political stability. Passage of Section 907 was influenced by the powerful Armenian-American lobby in the U.S. Congress, in response to the blockade imposed by Azerbaijan on Armenia in the course of the First Nagorno-Karabakh War. Azerbaijanis consider this legislation to be unfair, as During the same period of time, Armenian forces took control of the fifth of Azerbaijani territory, including Nagorno-Karabakh. Consecutive George H.W. Bush, Clinton, and George W. Bush administrations opposed Section 907, viewing it as an impediment to impartial U.S. foreign policy in the region and an obstacle to the U.S. role in the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict mediation efforts. In her 1998 letter to the House Appropriations Committee Chairman, Bob Livingston, then U.S. Secretary of State Madeleine Albright wrote, "After the September 11 attacks in 2001, Congress passed the Foreign Appropriations legislation of 2002, granting President the right to waive Section 907. In view of Azerbaijan's contribution and support for the U.S. military operations in Afghanistan, President George W. Bush waived the section in January 2002, and President Barack Obama further extended that waiver." Security Partnership. The U.S.-Azerbaijani security relations developed along several paths, including Azerbaijan's active participation in the NATO's Partnership for Peace program and the U.S.-led missions in Kosovo, Afghanistan, and Iraq, and the bilateral military ties to ensure Caspian energy and transportation security. In support of the U.S.-led war on terror, apart from troop contributions, Azerbaijan provided overflight, refueling, and landing rights for U.S. and coalition aircraft bound for Afghanistan and Iraq, shared information to combat terrorism financing, detained and prosecuted suspected terrorists. Apart from usage of Azerbaijani airspace by U.S. Air Forces, over one-third of all of the non-lethal equipment including fuel, clothing, and food used by the U.S. military in Afghanistan travels through Baku. In November 2011, the United States Secretary of the Navy Raym Abbas met with the Azerbaijani President and Defense Minister, announcing the military ties between their countries would expand. The U.S. State Department already offered Azerbaijan $10 million to enhance its security structures in the Caspian Sea earlier that year. Economic cooperation. U.S.-Azerbaijani ties in the economic sphere develop primarily in the context of Caspian energy resources and their transportation to Western markets. The U.S. companies are actively involved in the development of Caspian hydrocarbons in offshore Azerbaijani oilfields, and the U.S. government actively supported the Baku-Tbilisi-Ceyhan pipeline as the primary route of transportation for Caspian oil. In January 2008, commenting on a trip to Azerbaijan by Sen. Richard Lugar, ardent head of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, John C. K. During this visit, Sen. Lugar also suggested that he, along with fellow Senate Foreign Relations Committee member Joseph Biden, D.Del, endorsed the need for a special representative focused on energy issues in the Caspian to safeguard long-term U.S. The United States has signed a bilateral trade agreement with Azerbaijan, granting it the status of a most favored nation in 1995, and a bilateral investment treaty with Azerbaijan, naming it a beneficiary country under the Generalized System of Preferences (GSP) program in 2008. The U.S. also supports Azerbaijan's application for accession to the World Trade Organization. Democracy development. Remarks made by U.S. officials praise Azerbaijan as the first secular democracy in a majority Muslim nation. In spite of this, it commonly scores poorly independent assessments of democratic governance published by non-governmental organizations. For example, Freedom House's Freedom in the World 2018 report listed Azerbaijan as not free, with a score of 12/100. One component to the aid package provided by the U.S. government to Azerbaijan focuses on democratic development assistance with an emphasis on support for civil society, independent media, and rule of law. The largest part of this assistance is provided by the United States Agency for International Development. In 2014, Deputy Assistant Secretary Thomas O'Melia of the Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights, and Labour noted in a written testimony that Azerbaijan has taken some positive steps in building democratic institutions and developing democratic norms. More broadly, however, we have been seeing increasing constraints on fundamental freedoms that increase the risk of domestic instability, undermine the confidence the rule of law will be respected. United States Department of State press releases between 2011 and 2016 note concern with the actions of the Azerbaijan government over the sentencing of journalists and human rights activists as part of a broad pattern of increasing restrictions on human rights in Azerbaijan. Deputy Assistant Secretary Melia's statement lists a number of democratic transgressions, including limiting foreign NGO involvement, incarcerating journalists and peaceful protesters, and withholding travel rights to activists. These are not the kinds of actions the United States or the broader international community wants to see from a partner and also participating state. Eric Rubin, Deputy Assistant Secretary at the Bureau of European and Eurasian Affairs, also commented on Azerbaijan's democratic track record. In a testimony submitted to the Commission on Security and Cooperation in Europe in 2014, he wrote, Azerbaijani presidential visits to the United States. President A type of visit sources President H. Aliyev 25 minutes 30 September 1994 working visit President H. Aliyev 20 minutes 26 October 1995 working visit President H. Aliyev 27 July 6 August 1997 official visit President H. Aliyev 22 minutes 27 April 1999 working visit President H. Aliyev 12 minutes 18 February 2000 working visit President H. Aliyev 4 minutes 9 September 2000 working visit President H. Aliyev 1 minutes 13 April 2001 working visit President H. Aliyev 40 minutes 23 February 2003 official visit President I. Aliyev 25 minutes 28 April 2006 official visit President I. Aliyev 24 September 2010 working visit President I. Aliyev 2 minus 4 May 2012 working visit President I. Aliyev 20 minutes 21 May 2012 working visit President I. Aliyev April 1 2016 official visit President I. Aliyev September 19, 2017 official visit. Embassies. The Embassy of the United States is located in Baku, Azerbaijan. The Embassy of Azerbaijan is located in Washington, District of Columbia,